Hello guys, welcome back. In this video tutorial we will learn how to use React Toastify to show different type of messages like the success message, warning, error and different type of promises, and we will see how we can resolve or reject those promises. Also we will see how we can customize them based on our theme or the color scheme. So let's get started. So to install React Toastify, this is the command. Let's copy this one, and I have an empty ReactJS project, so let's install the React Toastify, and right now it's showing nothing. So it has been installed, and to use the default styling we will copy the CSS import and add that here. There are two main components that we will be importing from the React Toastify. One is the toast container that will be used to render the toast on our screen, and then the toast that will be used to trigger the toast, right? So we will see both of these soon. So let's copy this one and import it here. Okay, so let's switch to our React app and start using the React Toastify. So in the JSX we will be using the toast container. So that is, you can say, the container where our toast will be rendered. And to trigger it, let's add a button, and we can say show toast, and on click of that we can say show toast, and let's declare that as well, show toast. And here we will be calling the function on that toast. So to show the default toast, we will be just giving it the content. So we can give it any string, or we can even return any React component here. So let's start from the string. So we can say toast example and save it. And if you click on this one, here you go, it has shown the toast. So the content is here, toast example, and it by default it shows in this white color and shows the progress bar, and also shows the close button, right? And the by default its location is top right. We can change its location to anything, top left, center, or similarly to the bottom. So there are two ways to add the props on that. One is we can add that on the toast container, and if needed we can override that while we are triggering the toast, right? So we will see both of these soon. So here we can say position, and its value can be bottom center here, or the bottom left, or bottom right. So let's start from the bottom center, and if I save it, and no issue, here you go, it is shown on the bottom center. And if I change it to bottom left, so it will now trigger on the from the bottom left. And if I say to bottom right, show from bottom right, right? So and similarly we can change it to the top value, top left, center, and right. So if I now show, it will show on the top right. If I click on the toast, it will just dismiss it. We can override that as well. We can say the closeOnClick, and if we say it to false, it won't be going on click. Now if I am clicking on it, but it does not dismiss it, right? So by default when I hover on it, it passes the, you can say, the progress or the dismiss timer. So we can override that as well. So that is pause on focus loss. That is when I click away from that, it will pause the progress, and then there is a pause on hover. So we can say pause on hover false. So if I even hover on it, it does not pause it, right? But if I click away from this window, so it is pausing. We can override that as well. We can say pause on focus loss is also false. So now if I show the toast and click here, even here it is still working, right? So by default it shows the progress for the 8 seconds and then it auto close. And if we want to say that do not auto close, we can make it false, and no, it will not auto close. No, there's nothing timer, so we have to click this close button to close it, right? Or if it is closeOnClick is equal to true, then we can click on it to close it like this way. And there are other options that we can dismiss it on drag as well, so we can also override that as well. So that is draggable, and we can make it false. Refresh. So now if I trying to drag it, it is not draggable, right? So we can make it true, so it is draggable. And also we can override this close button as well, so that is close button, and instead of that cross we can maybe say in the p tag we can say close. And if I refresh and show toast, here you go, the close icon, right? And also we can show the icon here as well, some sort of icon. So that is icon, and here we can show anything, like we can show maybe this star. And if I now refresh, show toast, here you go, it has shown the icon, right? And here for the auto close we can provide the timer as well. So by default it's 8 seconds. If we want to change it maybe 2 seconds, we can change that. So now if I click on it, it will finish in 2 seconds, right? And we can even override that almost all of these properties while we are triggering the toast. So it will be comma, and here we can provide any of these. So suppose we want to override this auto close. We want to say instead of auto closing in 2 seconds, we can auto close in maybe 5 seconds. If I save it and show it again, so it is now instead of 2 seconds it will auto close in the 5 seconds. And we can also make it to false, and if you want to not to be auto closable, here you go, right? So this was the default toast. If you want to show different type of toast, like for the success, error and warning, they have provided those as well. So let's copy this button and we can say show success, and copy this one and show warning. We can say show error, right? And we can create the functions for those as well. So we can create as many toast as needed. For all of these, this toast container will be used. We can even create multiple containers as well, and while we are showing the toast, we can provide the toast ID here, right? So we can provide the toast ID here, toast container ID here, and we can reference that while we are triggering it, right, using the toast ID, right? Okay, so show toast, we can say show success toast, show warning toast, and show error toast, right? We can say this was the success example, this was the warning, and this is the error example, right? And here we can show the success, show warning, and show error, right? Now if I save it, here you go, we have shown all of these buttons. And instead of just showing the toast, we can say toast.success in this case, and in this case for warning we can say either warn or warning, both are same. So warning and then the error. if I save it, and now if I click on the show toast, this is the default toast, and now if I click on the show success, it's shown the success example. Because we have added the icon here, if we comment on this one, and now if I click on the show success, it will show the success icon, right? And if I now click on the warning icon and with its text, and this one with the error example, right? And we can close any of these using drag or just a click. And similarly, we can show our loading toast while we are making, suppose, some API calls, waiting for the response, or we are uploading a file, or we are downloading the files. We can show the toast while that activity as well. So let's copy this one button, and we can say show loading, and we can say show loading toast. Copy this one, and here we can say const show loading toast is equal to a function, and inside that we will be saying toast.promise, and here we have to provide the promise as a first parameter, and that we can say new promise, and we can say resolve and reject, and let's mimic the behavior, and we can say after maybe set timeout of 2 seconds, we will be just resolving it, right? And here as this the second parameter, we can provide the messages for each of the state while it is pending. We can say loading content, right? And when it is the success, we can say loaded successfully, and in case of error, we can say error received, right? And as a third parameter, we can pass any of the props like we have here, right? So let's save it, and here it is show loading. Here you go, loading content, and after some time it says it's success, because we have said that after 2 seconds it will be resolving this promise, right? So if I show it again, show loading for 2 seconds, then it is successfully done. So after it's successfully done, it again show for the default seconds, 2 seconds we have here. We can override that as well. We can say auto close in just maybe 100 milliseconds. So if I save it and show it again, loading, just success, right? And here instead of the resolve, if we reject it, then this message should be shown, and refresh, show loading, and there was an error, right? And if suppose for some reasons we have to show the toast, we do not know when it will be finishing instead of this time or something like that, we can do that as well, and we can update its progress based on some events, etc. So let's take that example as well. So we can say show maybe custom progress, right? And we can say custom progress, copy this one, and here we can say const custom progress is a function, and inside that we will be showing the toast. So we can say toast custom progress, right? And we can keep the reference of that one, and we will be updating the progress again and again. So we can create another button that we can say update progress, right? and we can say update progress, copy it, and we can create that function as well. So to create the track of the progress, we can create a state variable here, and that we can say use state and progress, and by default it will start from 0, and here we can say when this has started, then set the progress to 0, and when we update it, we can set progress to whatever the value previously is, and we can adjust 0.1. so the progress value range from the 0 to 1. So every time we will be pressing this update progress button, we will be incrementing it by 0.1, right? And here we can say toast.update, and here we have to provide the toast ID. So let's take the reference of this toast. So for that we can use the useRef hook. So that is, we can say toast ID, and by default it's null, so it is again from the React. And here while we are showing, we will be saying that the toast id dot grant is equal to this one. So I have a separate video on how to use the different type of hooks, use state and use ref. So I will add its link in the I button as well as in the description below, so you can take a look. Okay, so here we will be providing the toast id dot grant, and then we will be providing what we need to update. So we will be updating the progress, and we were setting its value to the progress plus 0.1, right? Because we are just setting it here in the state, it will not be updated as immediately when this will be executed. So we are always setting 0.1 plus here as well as here, right? So when we next time we will be pressing the button, so it will get the latest value of the progress. So already incremented 0.1, so we will be increasing it again, right? So if I save it, so custom progress, and by default we can while we're showing, we can say its progress is 0, or we can say maybe equal to the progress we have, and we can say auto close is false, right? So it should not auto close after the default 2 second or the 8 second, whatever we have in the default settings. So we will be updating its progress by ourselves. So custom progress, nothing shown, it will never go. So then we will press the update progress button, it is incremented by 10%, 20, 30, and so on. So once it will be making 100, then it will be finishing, right? So this is how we can show the custom progress bars or the custom messages, and we can update its progress whenever some of the actions has been finished by user or something. So we can show that accordingly. Also we can override the styling of the toast component. So there are multiple props available. So one is style, body style, toast style, and the progress style. So progress style is if you want to override the style of this progress, and then the toast style, this one, and then the body, where it is written the toast example, and the style, the overall we can say the container of this, right? So let's update the toast style, and we can say the color is maybe white, and we can change the background color to maybe black. Now if I save it, refresh, show toast, here you go. So the background color black, and then the color is white, right? If I show this icon as well and refresh, there you go, right? And just to show what other styles are, so if I say the body style and change its background color to maybe red, and if I show the toast, here you go. So this is the body. If we want to change something here, we can do that as well. And if we want to change the overall style, so let's change its background color to maybe green. Here you go. So it is the overall container for this toast, right? So let's comment on this one, comment on this one, and there you go, refresh, show toast, right? Alright, so this is how we style the React Toastify component based on our needs or based on our theme. Also for this toast example or this string, we can return any React component. So maybe instead of this toast example, we can say we can return the h1, and we can say the custom React node. If I save it, refresh, show toast, here you go, we have rendered the custom React node, the h1, right? If I change it to maybe h4, and now if I save it, refresh, here you go, this is now the h4, right? So similarly we can render anything here, right? And we can override the Toastify props using these props while we are declaring the toast container, or we can override them while we are triggering the toast, right? And we saw by default it is sliding from the right toward the left. We can change this transition as well, so that is under the transition, and here we can provide our transition. So we have there are a few transitions available from the React Toastify. We can create our own as well if needed. So if we select the slide, and then see it is now sliding slowly, right? And if I change it to something, we can say bounce, and save it, there you go, it is now bouncing. And if I choose the flip, and now if here you go, it is showing as a flip. And if I click on it to close it, it reverse of that. And the other one is the zoom. Now if I choose zoom, here you go. So these are the different, you can say, the transitions available in React Toastify. Even if suppose there are multiple toasts appearing and we want to dismiss all of this, you can do that as well. So let's copy this one, and we can say dismiss all, and we can say dismiss all. Okay, and here we can create a function. We can say dismiss all is a function, and inside that we will be saying that toast.dismiss, right? Save it, here you go. So if I have shown multiple, actually let's show them here so that our dismiss button is visible. We can say bottom right, refresh. So there are 3, and dismiss all are gone, right? And here inside that dismiss, we can provide the ID of the toast that we want to dismiss, otherwise it will dismiss all of these, right? And for this toast.update command, we can here we can update any of the props we have here, right? So we can say do not auto close, or make the auto close in maybe 10 seconds, and no draggable is true, no draggable is false. So we can update any of these props while we are operating, right? So that's it on exploring the React Toastify package. But still, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have learned something in this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.